What's going on today, people? You already know what it is. It's your boy Tunchi. This YBE Today we got an expedited question, so we got to get that out. No intro. Today's question is actually a double bubble because this guy purchased two questions. He wasn't playing. He went in and said, look, I got one right here, I got one right here. I ain't trying to do no 2 for 1. I'm just going to knock this out. So before we do that, I just got to make sure I let y'all know, go to www.ybetv.org, pick up that business course, business marketing course, pick up some shirts. Definitely go pick up some shirts. These dope. This foil right here, and it's going for the low. It's going for a good price. It's real nice, and it's a real snug fit, organic cotton. Like, it's hey, you know. All right, but let's get into the question. This question say, can you list all the possible bills and things you need to purchase or have your first week to run a truck? Example, down payment, insurance, down payment, fuel, registration, maintenance, mandated things like this. Okay. Now, his second question is about signing on to a company. So what I'm going to say is it's kind of a tough question, bro, because you didn't specify, because it is kind of different when you got your own authority versus when you actually signed on to a company. So I'm going to say, like, from me knowing that you're talking about signing on to a company, I'm going to go with, you know what I'm saying, from the second question, if you signed on to a company. Now, normally, depending on the age of the truck, you should be about $200 to $250 for insurance. And the awesome part about when you sign on is that when you're dealing with the insurance for $200 to $250, you like, it is taken out of your check after you actually make money, and you don't have no upfront costs. So you actually don't have no upfront costs for that. Fuel, same thing. They're going to give you a calm data card. You really ain't got no upfront costs for that. But if you got your own authority, you got upfront costs because you got to pay for your fuel. You're going to have to pay out of pocket. Or you're going to have to actually like have a fuel card. Like if you did the business credit course, which you can sign up for at www.ybetv.org. That's why it's a good thing to get your business credit before you get your own authority, because you can have the fuel card and, you know, like just swipe it until you know, get paid or factor out your bills, and then do it like that, so you can have the upfront money. So, you know, you got that. So you got your fuel. You don't have that registration. Most of the time they don't charge you up front for registration, so it's a weekly thing. They probably put plates and tags. That's probably like about $50 to $70 a week. A lot of the times that's how it is. Fuel is always at the end of the week. It's the same thing. Even if you do got your authority, it's ways to deal with it, because you can get a load, and then you can what you call that, you call a factoring company, and they'll buy your bills from you, so you get paid that day. So as soon as you deliver it, you get it stamped, you fax it in, and they'll buy the bills from you, and they'll wait to six to 8 weeks to get paid on it, and they'll pay you right then and there. Let me see, I left the message. Okay, all right. So you say insurance. Now down payment on insurance, it don't exist when you sign it on, but a down payment on insurance, if you got your own authority, a lot of times it's about $1,200-$1,500. Sometimes you probably gonna run into it if you pay for it fully, or they might ask you for about a stack down. But like I think OIDA was pretty fair. I think I only gave them like $400 to $500 down, something like that. It depends on the age of your truck. It all depends. Like when you're dealing with insurance, it's always like the age of your truck, the miles on it, how much you owe on it. Because like I got an older truck, I got an 07 that's paid off. The Blue Book probably pretty low. I done had it since 2010. So the Blue Book probably pretty low, so my insurance payment gonna be a lot lower than somebody who goes and get a truck that's $95,000 and put down 10 on that older balance of like $88,000. You know what I'm saying? Because taxes and plays on that. I mean taxes and everything, you know. So that's that. So I would honestly say with maintenance is as you make. Like I wouldn't say like you gotta have this. I would say it's good if you do have it when you first start out, the cushion, but I'm not gonna lie, like as maintenance, you go out, you run, and you just save. I say automatically, even if you running solo, and you at least put up $500 a week. That's what I try to do. Try to put up $500 a week for your maintenance, and that's a great thing. So I hope that helps. So your maintenance, your fuel, your registration, we went through that. Insurance be about $200 depending on the truck, though it can go up and down, but it's moderately around $200 a week. That's it. And as far as purchasing a truck, you definitely just need decent credit. If you got decent credit and a nice healthy down payment, and your down payment will be definitely determined on your credit. And like, just be careful, just be careful and make sure you go through the motions as far as fixing the truck now. Inspect it and getting the right truck. That's what I meant. Oil sample, full inspection. Make sure you do that. Okay, now your second question is, when leasing on to companies, what are the things to look for and know it's a good company? Oh, this question is beautiful. I love this question. This is a dope question. I'm about to go crazy on this one. All right, tolls don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you with a good company, tolls don't really matter because you can always go around them. And most of the places not really gonna cover tolls. Most good places don't cover tolls. So don't ever think about tolls. Now, fuel surcharge. Now, that one right there is tricky. When you signing on to a company, the best fuel surcharge is the 100% fuel surcharge, where they give you whatever the customer gives them for fuel. Okay? Now, one of the best companies to sign on to is a company that has a high percentage of the load that they pay and 100% fuel surcharge. Now, this is the thing. You got to be careful when you're dealing with that, because a lot of them will say, well, we'll give you 75%. You be like, oh, okay, 75% is fair. But you didn't ask the follow-up question. The follow-up question is like, that 75%, because, okay, let's go back. A load is separated into two departments: line haul and fuel surcharge. Line haul is you getting paid for your time to move this load. Fuel surcharge is them helping them carry the cost, cover the cost of the diesel. For you, your overhead right here is the fuel surcharge, and your line haul is I'm paying you for your time and the use of your equipment. Okay, so some of them be like, I'm giving you 75%. You be like, oh, okay, or 80%. You be like, oh, that's high, that's nice. But then you go look and you ask that follow-up question like, is that 75% of the line haul, 100% of the fuel surcharge? They be like, oh no, that's all the way across the board. So it's like, so you gonna get me for 25% over here, and then on the other side you gonna get me for 25%. Am I really winning? You really not winning, because it's like you getting 50%. You know what I'm saying? You taking a chunk out of my fuel. And I think that that's pathetic, because like, why do y'all even touch our fuel? Like, we paying for the diesel and you making money even though we losing money for running it. Like, that's ridiculous. I don't even understand why that shouldn't even be legal. Like, how you gonna make me pay to move the load, like to make a load, so like that's unfair. So what's a good driver rate? Now listen, this is what I say. When you going from 75% of the line haul up, that's great. 100% of the fuel surcharge. If you find a company that's like, let's just say a company say they 88% all the way across the board, that's not bad rates. Those are not bad rates. But the only thing is, they not gonna pay you for bobtail. So sometimes you might have to eat a little bit to go get that good load. Like, you in a kind of moderately bad area and you took a load to get up there and it paid you magnificently, right? And you get up there and it's kind of a dead zone, you don't want to sit. So it's like, okay, you know what? I might have to bobtail 350 miles to get out of there, 400 miles to get out of there, to get back into a good lane of freight. You got to eat that. Versus if you go to another company that's not percentage, where they give you a flat rate, they pay you for that. But it really never balances out. Like, the per mile companies never really pay good. They normally, those are the guys that you try to stay away from if you can. Now, if you're going local and you're going to pay for your freedom. So I say, hey, do it, no problem, right? But if you're not going local, you honestly want to consider the fact that you having that as a combined rate, like them giving you $1.10 a mile plus the fuel surcharge, national average. See, they do this thing called national average. That's another thing. National average is, well, they do this stupid calculation to give you a amount on the calculation of how much the fuel in the country is costing and possibly in your region, and then the government say you got to at least give them this much. So the fuel surcharge around right now is probably about 25 to 30 cents a mile. It's terrible. Whole time when you go to craft and get the load, and that load already paying $1.50 a mile, and then they giving you $1 fuel surcharge, and the company keep the dollar and give you 30 cents. They take it more off the fuel and make it more off the fuel than you. I think that's terrible. Like, that's horrible. So, you know, like, the best way to go is 100% fuel surcharge. Percentage companies, those are the best ones. You got the Mercers, you got Landstar, you got Snyder, they 65%. Kind of low, but, and then, like, look for the small, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of the smaller companies. If you could find a company that named Green Forest Trucking, and you be like, how many trucks y'all got? They be like, we got about 50 trucks. You be like, 50 trucks? Like, so what's the deal with y'all? Well, we pay about 85% of the load, like 85%. What about fuel surcharge? Well, we give you about, we give you 100% of your fuel. That's yours. Hey, that's yours. And then a lot of them, another thing is, a lot of the small companies, they not trying to hit you on top of the head and take everything. The bigger companies like the Englands, they robbing you at every point. So another trait that a company, you be like, so what about the fuel discount? They be like, whatever they give you off the pump, you keep it. Now, CR England, for example, bad company, they give you 90 cents a mile on a load that's paying $3. 90 cents a mile plus the fuel surcharge. So they giving you $1.20. The load pays $3. They robbing you blind. They robbing you blind. Okay. On the other side, you go to another company for that same load. That load pays $3 a mile. They're gonna say, all right, well, we're gonna give you 80%, 100% of the fuel surcharge, which means that that's 8, 16, 24. You're gonna make $2.40 a mile. They gonna make 60 cents a mile. You feel me? That's not bad, huh? Okay, yeah. So that's not bad. You know, you actually winning in that scenario. You winning in that situation. $2.40 a mile. My bad, my phone got a call, but $2.40 a mile, you actually winning. So, you know, it's just little things that you look out for, and it's just the numbers, man. That the majority of the big companies like the Swifts and the CR Englands and CRSTs. Well, not CRST necessarily, because I think they do got a percentage program that they do fairly okay with. But like if you go for the bigger companies, I would say go for the Mercers, the Landstars, and things like that. They got kind of a fair rate. Snyder, that's kind of fair. But I'm not gonna lie, mom and pop is always the way to go. Like, it's almost like always the way to go with anything, because with the mom and pop, it's more likely that the person in the family has been in that industry and helped build it up, so they know what the workers or the employees go through. So they normally give you a fair shake because they pay you like they would have wanted to be paid, you know, when they started the company. So you know, like that. And then, you know, when they was in the industry, they would have wanted to be paid in the industry. They pay you like that. And then you got the bigger guys that started off like that, and then, you know, they die off, and then the kids take over, and it's just a money move for them. It's just like, okay, like, what do I got to do with this company so I can buy the new Ferrari next year? You know, like, so it's like they just constantly taking it until you left with 90 cents a mile and a fuel surcharge, and they stealing all the rebates, and like, it's just ridiculous. So just something to look at, something to think about. You already know. And if that didn't answer your questions, definitely hit me back up and tell me which portion do you feel like that it didn't get answered, and I'll definitely pick up the scraps. You already know it's your boy Tunchi, and it's YBETV. And if you don't want to end up in a box table, tell them the rest, baby.
Think outside YB.
Killing is going on in my town. It don't take a killer to kill or a driller to drill. See, just being yourself is the definition of real.